Pizza. 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 Oh. Pizza. Pizza.
All right, folks, welcome back to another week of the ZaBills Pizza Review Channel. Pew, 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 pew. I got to get some of those official sound effects for fireworks, or the Sunday. All right, folks, this week on our pizza review, we had Zaz, like ZaBills, but with an H, Z-A-H. That was at 596 Cayuga, and the other pizza was Gandy's. Do you remember what that was? 1203 Cleveland?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. So the Zaz pizza was $20 even. Gandy's was $18. Tonight on the pizza review is Dennis, Brendan, Mike, Chris, Sean, and myself, Kyle. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. I think you guys would be more fired up after a couple days hearing Amari Cooper and...
You know, that was exciting. I think we all talked about it a few different times.
Yeah.
And rarely do the Bills make a trade, let alone for the guy that we all wanted.
Yes, and the guy that made sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, Dennis, why don't you go first as usual and let us know what you liked and why you liked it.
So I like the Zaz better. The sauce is what did it for me big time. I mean, the pepperoni was pretty much the same, just about.
Yep.
And the cheese on the Gandy's was probably a little better. It was real thick. I think that's where they went wrong because there's too much cheese, whereas the sauce just didn't. In the middle there was like nothing. We will allude to, I think, here in a little while.
Yep.
The crust was probably better with the Gandy's, but the sauce was so good with the Zaz that takes it for me.
Okay. Brendan, Silver Fox.
Yes, sir. These were some good buffalo pizzas. Love the price point. Cheektowaga definitely has good pizzas at a good price. I would say for my money, it was the Zaz as well. A couple bucks more, but overall, enjoyed the pie a little bit more. Similar to Dennis, I thought the Gandy's, while good in its own right, the cheese was thick. It was thick. I was trying to put my finger on what was making it so heavy, and I thought it was just like a thick crust, and it was the cheese for sure. Pretty good cook overall, but also I thought the sauce was better on the Zaz as well. The Gandy sauce kind of tasted like a generic tomato sauce to me. And I liked a little bit of sweetness in the Gandy's, and the Zaz. And I also thought the Zaz crust actually had a little sweetness to it in the dough. I could be making that up, but that's what I tasted. So I'm going to go with Zaz.
All right. So it's 1 and 2. Okay.
I'll make it 3.
Okay.
I'm also going to go with Zaz, and it was mainly because of the sauce. I will disagree with the two of you, though, that I don't think you could ever have too much cheese. However, on that slice, it didn't seem to go. Like, I love my Pizza Junction type pizza, and you can measure the cheese with a ruler. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's it's fantastic there. I didn't like it here. The sauce sold it. Zaz for me.
Okay. Johnson.
Well, I'm going to go against the grain here. I started out with the Gandy's slice, and for me, it actually was the cheese that put them over the top. It was, sometimes you get cheese and it's not cooked enough and it's just really thick, gummy cheese. But for me, this was actually almost like a meal. The cheese was cooked well enough. You ever have like a stuffed mushroom and you have like that crusty Parmesan cheese on top?
That's my favorite part.
That's the kind of the feel I got out of the slice. So I heard someone say something about the cheese at first, and so I'm like, I'm not gonna be biased. I'm just gonna try it. And so the cheese actually sold it for me. It definitely was a full piece of pizza. I mean, the dough. The only downside for me out of Gandy's was the crust. It was just a little bit too airy, a little bit too thick. Whereas Zaz, I like the thinner crust. It was cooked a little bit better. I agree. And maybe Dennis, you had said it. The pepperoni was pretty much the same on both slices, in my opinion. So yeah, you know what? I think Gandy's for me was the one that I would prefer. Actually, put it over the top.
Okay. And
this was a tough one because I can be swayed with oregano, which Gandy's had. I could be swayed with sweet sauce, which is what Za had.
Oh boy!
Breaking down the ingredients. Gandy's is a very hearty pizza. The cheese, very, very thick. You're going to come away full with both pizzas. Price is pretty much similar. When I broke down the cheese and the sauce and everything else, my vote's got to go for Zaz. Their cheese was slightly more flavorful. Their sauce was sweet, which I enjoyed. The pepperonis was slightly better, slightly burnt more. They just had enough in those categories to kind of put them over the top. Gandy's very hearty, cheesy pizza. Can't go wrong with either one. I've got to go with Zaz.
All right. Going last is tough because it's kind of like everyone's kind of hit every note that you wanted to bring up. But, I agree with everyone so far. The oregano, I think I could have done without on Gandy's. I liked Gandy's a lot because it was a thick, dense pizza. Like Mike said, never enough cheese, right? Can't have enough cheese. I remember back in the day I used to order Bocce's extra sauce, extra cheese. And that was always my favorite. But, yeah. Zaz was sweet sauce. Pepperonis and cheese were very good on both. Crust was soft on one, a little bit of a crunch on Zaz. I'm not going to take this long-winded approach. I'm just going to go with Zaz. And I think they took it, 5-1. Okay. So Dr. Pizza. I do like how you rip it apart.
I did. In terms of Gandy's, the cheese itself, not really distinguishable. The sauce, I think Brendan said it, just kind of a tomato sauce, nothing that wowed you. I couldn't even taste a great deal of oregano either, which I was kind of disappointed in. So it's not the taste buds, because I could all taste that with the Zaz. The Zaz were just slightly better in almost every category.
Wow.
Not by a lot, but in terms of cheese, sauce, crust, just slightly better than Gandy's. For an extra $2,
sure,
Zaz would be the way to go.
Right. Again, either pizza you show up to a party with, you're not.
Nope.
No one's going to be mad at you for bringing that.
This is Buffalo.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Both very good pizzas.
Yeah, we're on a streak right now of cheap pizzas that are good.
Mm-hmm.
So.
First time I ever heard anyone say they'd be swayed by oregano, though. That's
I
a
can
new
be.
one.
Yeah, I can be. Though Pizza Hut, I would never put it on. They put it right there at the table, but I would never put it on.
Are you sure you're thinking of the right green leafy thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very tasty.
Now it's a party.
So let me ask you, I was thinking about this earlier today. Buffalo's got so many pizzerias. They're like on every corner almost, like the old
Starbucks.
school. No, not like Starbucks, but like the old school markets, like where it was above, like in a house or like below an apartment kind of a thing. How do all these places stay afloat with so many pizzerias? Like a Tim Hortons, right? Like Tim Hortons are everywhere. There's more pizza places than Tim Hortons, but yet all these pizza places stay open. I'm just fascinated how many there are.
I think you answered it. They're almost like a Tim Hortons. Like it's a neighborhood thing.
Yeah.
It's walkable. It's, how far are you going to drive for a pizza? If there's one close and they're decent, you're going there. You're picking up on the way home. It's a neighborhood thing. It's almost like a neighborhood, like market, like you said, a market, like a mini mart.
Was it last season you talked about when you and your wife had an apartment close to a place that you guys would walk to
That
all
was
the time?
Macy's in Cheektowaga. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Right.
Yep.
I was 30 before I ever had Domino's. We had a Domino's here, but we had so many pizza in our neighborhood and around town that I was 30 plus before I ever had a slice of Domino's pizza.
Okay, let me ask you this. You guys that are from here. Sean, you go first. What was your favorite pizza place or place that you would get the pizza from the most when you were growing up?
There's a place on the Boulevard in Decatur called Big John's. We used to be able to walk there as 9-10-year-olds, $5. You get a slice, get something to drink. It no longer exists there, but it was fantastic. It was before your time.
No, I get that. I came out here in 99. Is that the building that was now Ying's Wings or whatever that's in there now?
The
dumpling? No, it's
yes.
not the dumpling.
I don't think it's Ying's Wings. It's further down. It's near UB South. It's on Decatur.
Yeah, I thought that's right by the scuba shop.
Okay, so a little bit before that. But
yeah, so I think that's
Saigon
it was
Bangkok?
Yeah. Like that plaza area.
It was right in there. And as a matter of fact, I talked about it today because you could walk in there, you could buy a pack of cigarettes out of the machine. Not that I ever did that as a kid, but that existed back at this time. And then you go get a slice. And no pizza since I've done this podcast has ever been as what that pizza was like.
Because of nostalgia?
Nostalgia, but even flavor and taste. I know Mike talked about that last year on the podcast. Like he tasted this pizza and it reminded him of a place that no longer exists. we've never had a pizza like Big John's on the Boulevard.
Okay. Chris. You grew up in where?
I grew up in the city of Tonawanda.
Okay.
But our place was Pizza Delight, which was down
Yeah.
in the corner of Woodstock and Elker Creek Road, where Maloney's is now. I think it is. It's the
kayak place too. Is over there.
kayak place is on the end of the plaza.
Yep.
But Maloney's, I think, is the
Pizza Delight. I had
butcher,
pizza
yeah.
from there once or twice.
Yeah, it was always good. That was our go-to pizza, chicken finger subs, all that
Now,
stuff.
that was a thicker cheese,
Definitely.
good cup and char place, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Mike.
It was Junction, Pizza Junction.
Okay.
When I was a kid, it was on Erie. The father still owned it. It was good. You know, my mother loved it.
Are you an NT guy?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, World's Park.
Okay.
Yep.
Brendan. Lockport, right?
Lockport, yep. It definitely changed as I was able to kind of go get my own pizza.
Yeah.
I guess you could say. I know when I was younger, we did a lot of Picasso's. I can almost remember in school, when they got pizza in school, it was Picasso's.
Wow.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
And every time I bite into a slice of Picasso's, that is one that takes me back. That something about Picasso's, the taste has never changed in 30 years that I can remember.
You know, it's funny that you say that because when I was a kid, I didn't like Picasso's. Mm-hmm. I love Picasso's now. So I must have changed if you think the pizza hasn't changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, how many guys were here the night that we got a Picasso's?
yep, I was
Yeah, I
there.
was here.
Yeah.
I still can't get over the hate that I got for the picture I
'cause,
posted
how,
online
like,
because it
well
looked
done
burnt.
it was? Yeah.
But they didn't understand there was like 3 layers of pepperoni and every layer was a different
Yep.
cook
Yeah.
on it.
It was really good.
Yeah,
so-
sorry.
The hate.
No, I mean people were like, I can't
I
believe
know,
you would
yeah.
eat that. It was I couldn't believe how many people were upset about that picture.
I think it was a dark picture, too.
Whatever.
We
All
didn't have
right.
the right lighting.
Yeah,
South
but,
Buffalo, let's hear it.
So you guys already know, Abbott Pizza for me as a child. Every like Friday night, just about almost without fail. There's a close second, Jacoby's.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Since it's closed,
Yep.
Jacoby's was always real good. It had a period of time where like it kind of changed a little bit, and I think I was young enough to really not understand why.
Okay.
There's some, if some people want to talk about it, some mafia ties and things like that I've heard. Just heard through the grapevine, but definitely Abbott. Still sad that it's not there. Kind of hurts going by it now.
I will tell you though, the Papa's Pizza I did like better than Abbott's.
It was good, but I did have a Papa's Pizza, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago or so, and it wasn't as good. I didn't get the sweet sauce. I got like regular. It definitely wasn't as good at all.
Well, you know what they say, you got to get it a third time.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. So, growing up out in the Saratoga region, pizza was not like pizza here. Pizza here or back home reminds me, and I'm not throwing shade on them at all, but more closer to Marata's, or not Marata, Matina's and Franco's.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, something like that. But then when I would visit my grandparents here, like twice a year, it would either be Bocce's or St. Angelo's.
Yes.
And both pizzas were phenomenal. So that's why that's right. So Alicia hates Bocce's. Right, I couldn't believe it. I can't believe I married her. And I still love it. And sometimes, like, it sucked that night we got it. I was so pissed when we got it for that meeting. It sucked.
Yeah.
I was pissed. So
See, I feel I still go back to the Abbott Pizza. It was good almost every single time. I mean, occasionally, I guess you'd have to say that it was not as good, but it was very consistent all the time.
right.
Yeah, and I think, kind of going back to the question about how do all these places stay afloat with the market so saturated, I think that, like, I don't know if it was how it got established, but there is, I think every family has, like, a pizza night where it's, like,
Right.
once a week you're like, it's Friday, it's Saturday night, we're going to get pizza. I'm not cooking.
Right.
And that's, like, almost, like, ingrained in, like, American culture. So, like, there's at least one night that pretty much everybody in the neighborhood is getting pizza.
Right, and let's be honest here. If you want to start a pizza place, people have so many options they can turn to. You've got to have a good pizza. I mean, you can't just throw something out there and expect people to buy it. Yeah. There's so much quality. I mean, sometimes we almost state it. These pizzas aren't bad. They're really not bad pizzas. They're all really great pizzas out here.
Okay.
So if you want to start something, you better have something that's going to last.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So let's go around real quick. What has been your least favorite pizza that we've done so far in the pod?
not counting
Like
the
Crosby's.
chains.
Take the chains out.
Well, everybody knows mine. I couldn't finish. What was it, Fat Man's?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That's my top
was a
3.
good one.
That's in my top.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I see. I like that one too.
I think I'm going to throw a lot of hate on Brando.
I was going to say the same thing, actually.
Yeah, I remember
think
that
there was
not
such-
being good.
Yeah, and I think it's because we had high hopes for
We
it.
did.
And it just fell flat.
Yeah.
There was one pizza, and I can't remember what it was, but there was only one time I didn't finish a pizza. Like Mike, I can't remember whose it was, but it wasn't because I was full. I was just, I'm good with this one. I've had enough to know I don't like it. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
I'd say like all the New York style pizzas that we've gotten to have been really underwhelming.
I think that I've botched that up by putting pepperoni on it.
Well, I mean,
Kind of have
a
to.
pizza, like, if you can't handle pepperoni, then your pizza is not good.
But I'm wondering if the grease, because they don't use cup and char on there, and I'm wondering if that grease is just what turns it orange and changes the taste. And
It's a byproduct of doing a pizza podcast. We got to do sometimes the good and the bad. It's more of a style than it is
Yeah.
a quality. It's not like
Right.
Ulysses or back in the days of Barrows that had these New York style pizzas were shortchanging us. That just was a style of a New York pizza. Just like with Uno's, you do a deep dish. They have a specific deep. If you don't like crust, don't go to Uno's.
God, Pizzeria Uno's.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have to go every time we're out of town. For the wife. She
I
loves it.
suggest in the next couple of weeks we get 2 places that do a Detroit style. So Jay's deep,
Jay's
Red
does
Top.
one, and
There's-
I was actually going to mention. I wasn't going to necessarily do it on the pod, but that Jets pizza place closed.
Oh.
You ever had that? That Jets? It's a
I
chain.
remember
It was
hearing
on-
about it. I didn't
yeah.
have it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, there was one on Delaware in North Buffalo,
Yep.
and their
Oh.
thing was Detroit style. And last time I looked, they were super expensive. I don't know why.
What's super expensive? $37 or more?
I want to say it was like $20 for like a personal like
okay.
4-piece
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah,
pizza.
yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, but
Well, that's like
they're
when we
closing.
got the Candymans and the
Yeah.
Jays. We had to
Jays.
get 2 of each.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
expensive.
Those were good pizza.
Good, but
Candyman was good,
expensive.
man. That was good.
Yep.
God, all this free advertising they're getting.
I know.
Yeah, true that.
Jeez, Woody, what was your least favorite so far?
I think it was last year. It was just kind of the experience, not necessarily the pizza, but it was the blizzard or some sort of snowstorm we had last year.
Crosby's.
Where we were struggling to find something that was open. And I remember I picked them up and we got them here. And maybe it was because it was the holiday. I feel like it was right around Christmas that we did
was.
this. And I was just like full to the gill with like steak and everything we were eating for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And then we kind of had those pizzas. And I remember just not even being able to like look at them. They were just disgusting. It was Crosby. Some 14-year-old kid cooked it, and it was just. I
what
remember
was the
being
other
like,
pi-
The other one
Oh.
we-
What else
did
we do?
Mister?
Crosby
Did
and-
we do Mister with
All
that?
right, hold on. I'm gonna
I
pull
picked
it
up Crosby. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't think I got both
No, it was 7-Eleven.
because it was terrible. The,
No,
the
it
weather was
wasn't.
terrible.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
had
had
to
to miss
Crosby's
it.
and
Yeah,
7-Eleven.
Because I couldn't get here.
Yeah, we only had a few of us do it, and I remember just looking at this pizza and saying, I can't do it.
It was Crosby's versus Mister, and Crosby's won 4-2.
Yeah.
Good memory.
So there were 6 of us.
No,
there.
I'm looking on the
'cause
sheet.
I think I picked up the Mister.
I'm keeping on
and
track.
I'll tell you that would have been a good one to bring up because I used to love Mister Pizza,
Yeah.
especially the original that's down on Elmwood, and then they had the one on the Boulevard that was also very good, but that one closed. They opened this Mister Pizza. I think it was during the pandemic, and they had the sign out on the building forever before they actually opened. And I'm like, when the hell is this open up? Because that was the Leonardi's building. That was some
Yes.
good pizza too.
Yes.
Leonardi's.
Hey, what about? I'm looking over the notes here, and there's only been a couple shutouts here. Picasso versus Pizza Plant. Do you remember the Pizza Plant one?
The pizza
Where
plant
the-
was underwhelming.
Where the
yeah.
dough was like tasted like it was almost like gluten-free dough. Yeah.
Yeah. But
And then we had Lenova and Grill on Erie, and Lenova shut them out.
yeah, that Mr. Pizza is just so underwhelming. I don't know what it is. If it's
Yeah.
the crust just is always like cardboardy.
It was up there. It
Yeah.
was. It was after Lenova's. It was the go-to for Christmas on my wife's family on the West Side.
Yeah.
That was,
Side.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the big deal.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough pizza chat for me.
ZaBill's Nation out.
I like that. I'm going to use that new. That's going to be your tagline.
There it is.
I like it. All right. See you, folks. See you next week on the next one.
Go Bills.
Pizza, pizza,
Go Bills.
pizza, 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 pizza. Pizza, 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 pizza.